Bay Area Sports Wrap. Bay Area Sports Wrap. Listen to me, you listen to me good. If you don't listen to Bay Area Sports Wrap, I feel for you. Vern Glenn, KPIX Sports. If you like and subscribe it, there's a good chance you might get to heaven.
When your shots aren't falling, you have to really lock in on defense. And this was the second game in a row where an opponent shot more than 40% from three against you guys. What do you think's kind of happening there, and what can you guys do to kind of lock in on that perimeter?
Well, yeah, we talked about in the locker room a little bit, like when our shots aren't falling and we're not getting great offensive flow, we can't let that affect the defensive side of the floor. But I think some of it comes from earlier communication, picking up in transition earlier, but we know the adjustments we need to make, and we will make them going forward.
Kata, 14 points in the second quarter, a career high night for you. You had some early struggles to start the year. How were you able to just kind of stay ready tonight and contribute in the way that you did?
I don't know. I don't count missing shots as struggles. It's just I didn't make it. So I made some shots tonight, and then kudos to my teammates for getting me the ball and finding me. And I don't know, leaning on my teammates is all I really do, and just try to control what I can control. And tonight, I made a couple shots. So
for either of you, you've played back-to-back teams now where they screen really well, they share the ball really well, and they just make it really hard because they don't have one or two people that you have to guard every possession. As you play more teams like this and you play more games as a group, how do you defensively try to improve against teams that are multifaceted and can score in a ton of different ways and play with this style where they have 4 or 5 people that can have 20 on a night?
Yeah, I think we did talk about that, playing New York and Minnie in a 3-game stretch. Like, they're the top in this league for a reason, and we're aware of that. And so it's kind of like rising to the challenge. And but I think we're similar, Obviously, we're new and we're young, but we have a very well-rounded team. We're versatile, and so just buying into the game plan, buying into the personnel, and knowing what each person wants to do, and just trying to limit that to the best of our ability. Obviously, they have some incredible players, but we know their tendencies and we know what they like to do. So just like leaning on each other as well.
For both of you, or either of you, this is the third game here at Chase and the third sellout. The crowd was pretty into it tonight. Just what does that mean for you guys? Are you starting to figure out what this home field advantage means?
Yeah, it's honestly incredible. When you have a fan base just stick through the highs and lows of the games and, cheer you on, it really does bring us energy. And sometimes you need it whenever you've missed a few shots in a row. To have such supportive fans, it really does help. Yeah, it's a testament to the community here, the investment that they've poured into us, the organization. And so we're grateful, and it challenges us and it raises us to a new level, and we feel them throughout the game. We rely on them, and so we're grateful for a fan base that continues to support us, and hopefully that continues throughout the season. 100%.
Okay, in the second quarter, you're moving well without the ball, and I think Julie in particular was finding you on a lot of those cuts. Can you talk about the growth in that connection as you've played more together? Yeah,
Julie is a tremendous basketball player, and she just brings high energy off the bench, and she's always looking to push the ball, and we can really feed off of that. And so when Julie comes in, we know we're going to be running pretty fast, and so she's done a great job of controlling the pace there and pushing it and finding the open people.
Hey guys, we asked Coach Nakase right before you guys came in kind of, what she's going to do to boost morale on the team because you've been on a little bit of this losing streak. And she said, if it's not painful, essentially it's not worth it. You have to take this pain and use it. So I was just curious, what are you guys going to do with your team or anything to try and get energy back up and as you go into Thursday's game?
And just stay together. That's this league, that's this season. The W is hard. There's a reason we're all here, and I think each player has experienced a certain level of pain or hardship, and that's what's allowed us to bounce back. And so just use it as motivation as well. Stay connected off the court. Teams that stay together succeed typically in this league. So, again, just not overthinking the losses, not kind of getting too depleted because of them. We have a lot to take away, and there was a lot of really good things as well. So just staying together.
Good job. To follow up on that, this is for both of you. With an expansion team, there's always going to be the growing pain, especially early on in the season. So what do you take away from these last 3 games against New York and Minnesota, the 2 top teams in the league?
Yeah, I mean, they're both really, really good teams. It's challenging us, and really what Coach tells us to focus on is the process and not the results right now. And as you saw, the growth from the first New York game to the second New York game, and then how, we stuck around. It was a 1-point game at halftime here with Minnesota, and it's just putting together full 4 quarters. But yeah, I mean, I just think if we get caught up in the wins or losses, then that would be a disservice to everything that we've been working on and how much we've grown.
Veronica, you have really shown early in the season the growth of your offensive game, and I think tonight might have been the first time I've seen you hit a 3 coming off of a ball screen where the defender went underneath. And I'm just wondering how you have grown in your ability not only to be confident in your 3-point shot, but knowing when to take those shots, when to come off the screen and drive, and finding that balance as you continue to improve your offensive game and show the league how good you are offensively.
Yeah, thank you, first off. But I think just getting in the gym, repetition is the biggest thing, and that breeds confidence. And again, relying on my teammates and coaching staff. When you have people around you that are building you up and encouraging you to take the shots that you practice, it can really go a long way. So honestly, obviously opportunity is a big thing. Confidence is a big thing, but just trusting in it, trusting in the work. And obviously I saw a few fall tonight, so I'm grateful for that. But not getting too high or too low as well.
I know the philosophy's kind of been let it fly all season, but Veronica, I'm wondering, when the shots aren't falling, how do you guys not get into a mental rut where you have to put so much pressure on, this next one has to hit, we need this next one? How do you just kind of stay with it?
Yeah, and that's still something I think we're learning, not being too hard on ourselves. I think it's really easy to lift each other up, but for some reason when it's ourselves, we can kind of put our head down or whatever that may look like. And so that's when we rely on each other. Look, this is basketball. You're going to make some, you're going to miss some, but having the confidence that you're going to make the next one is the biggest thing. And when they aren't falling, what can we do? Can we buy into the defensive end even more? Can we get out in transition, attack the paint? And so I think that's a big thing as well, because sometimes when we get the in-rhythm threes, it's even more successful for us. And so we're getting the ball moving, we're getting different people involved, and so we're not relying too heavily on, the next shot it has to go in. But again, just building each other up, that I think has a lot more power than we may realize.
You're watching me, but you need to be watching Bay Area Sports Wrap. Bay Area Sports Wrap on YouTube. Like and subscribe, and there's a good chance you might get to heaven.